my name's Felicia, and I like scary movies. And today we have a crossover situation, sort of like the episode of Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossover, where we are doing the Sinister Sisters podcast, also on my YouTube channel. So you can watch it on Girly Gore, or you can listen to it on Sinister Sisters.
Or both.
Or both, if you really, really like our faces and our voices.
And our voices separate from our faces.
And our voices separate from our faces. So you might say, why are you dressed as ghosts today? Well, welcome to the first episode of our October season. Halloween is clearly our favorite holiday, and so we like to celebrate. Just a reminder, we went to Halloween Horror Nights the opening weekend, the first weekend of September. So we've been celebrating since then.
We actually have just been wearing these since
The whole time. And if you're on the podcast being sad right now that you can't see, we'll post a picture on our Instagram just so you can
see the white outfits.
But yeah, so everyone's not so sad that we didn't do our other intro. I'm Felicia.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're best friends.
And we talk about scary movies. And it's the Sinister Sisters podcast.
What did I say?
You didn't say anything.
We're the Sinister Sisters podcast. Is this going well? We also don't know if this whole setup, we spent like an hour more trying to figure out this setup to record and film at the same time.
You'll notice we have 2 mics.
This is new. We
High
now have 2
tech.
mics. We used to just share one mic on the couch in between us, and every few minutes it would fall over, and then we would have to pick it up and try again.
Quick shout out to Rachel Nadler, my friend who bought me this mic.
Thank
now
you,
we
Rachel.
have 2. Very high tech. So,
yeah.
Should I jump in?
Well, first, so each week in October, just so you're clear, we're just talking about our favorite movies of a particular subgenre. We're doing ghosts, witches, zombies, and vampires.
Yes.
Okay, great.
She nailed it.
Thank you. And so this week, obviously, if you're looking at us, you can tell we are ghosts.
And if you can't tell, then we haven't done our
a
job.
Bad job. And if you like this format, we might continue to film them after October, but just let us know in the comments so we're clear. But yeah.
It takes a lot of effort, so we want to make sure you enjoy it.
If you don't like it, we're not going to do it. But yeah, so here we are. And do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research.
Lauren did all the research for this episode.
Just because I like a little research. But basically, the idea of a ghost is based on the concept that a person's spirit exists separately from your body and continues to exist after your physical body dies.
Yep.
So, because of that idea, we had funerals and other ways for people to pass on so that maybe their ghosts wouldn't stick around, or at least if they did, they were happy. And no spooky, terrible ghosts. But there are also sometimes places that are, more haunted than others. I always think of, like, hospitals I imagine to be very haunted. Yeah. Psychiatric wards.
I always think of places that had a lot of bad energy.
Yes.
Like, a lot of bad things happened. That energy gets left over.
Yes.
And that's places where ghosts like to hang, I would assume.
I would assume. And, have we ever talked about, have you had a ghost experience?
I have had a Ouija board experience.
Right. I don't know if you want to talk about it now. But I was just going to say, people, not me, because I don't believe in ghosts. Sorry. People...
Everyone can judge her now.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on in the comments. I haven't been hated on Felicia's YouTube channel. I'm ready.
Everyone just always tells Lauren she's pretty. But now we have something to hate on her for.
I'm pretty and I don't believe in ghosts. But, signs of hauntings can range from a couple different things. People talk about smells, which I wouldn't know anything about.
Lauren doesn't have a sense of smell.
This is really just about me, this episode. But smells, strange noises, lights.
Yes.
Temperature changes.
Absolutely.
Breezes. Objects being moved around. All those kinds of things.
Many signs of a ghost.
Yeah. So I wanted to find out what the first ghost story was. And the first reported or notable, obviously I'm sure, since the dawn of time, people have talked about ghosts. But the first recorded is a Roman author and statesman, Pliny the Younger.
Is that my new name?
Yes. I don't even know what Pliny means.
Me neither.
But anyway, Roman. And he reported that the specter of an old man with a long beard rattling chains chains was haunting the house that he lived in Athens. Very spooky. So centuries later, in 856 AD, is this interesting? Just some history. In 856 AD, the first poltergeist, which is a ghost that can cause physical disturbances.
Yes, different.
Was reported at a farmhouse in Germany. The poltergeist tormented the family living there by throwing stones and starting fires, among other things.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's wild.
856 AD, first poltergeist. Love it. And then I just thought it was interesting. I was like, what are like the most famous historical ghosts? And people have talked about seeing Anne Boleyn. Mm-hmm. They've talked about seeing Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln. Apparently the White House is very haunted.
Oh, I believe
cool,
that.
right?
I totally believe that. Some shady things have gone down in that White House.
Yeah, and apparently like especially during FDR's presidency, like people really felt the presence of Abraham Lincoln.
Whoa.
Just like, what?
Weird.
I know. Maybe
also,
it was...
if anyone's wondering what this is a dog. This is Toby. He matches us this week.
Look at the little
And now
face.
he's mad that I woke him up. I'm sorry. I just didn't know if he was moving a little bit, and that might look strange coming from Lauren's costume, but that's a dog.
It's just a weird furry tumor that I have.
That's right.
But moving on. So then I said to myself, what was the first ghost movie? Because who knows? And apparently it was called The Haunted Castle, which was a silent movie made in 1896.
Wow, 1896.
Yeah, who knew that even...
They made movies.
Anything was going on then. But it was by George Méliès of France.
Perfect.
And it debuted in Paris in 1896 on Christmas Eve. And it was 3 minutes in length.
I love that it's a ghost story on Christmas Eve.
Very romantic.
Was it Christmas themed? No.
No.
Weird.
I mean,
I also wanted to say that
no.
the first ghost story you said about the chains is very Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
Marley?
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Everything comes from somewhere.
So everything is just reusing old ideas. But in this Haunted Castle film, they had camera tricks to make people, ghosts, a bat, a skeleton, and props appear and disappear.
Fun.
In black and white. And in silent.
In silence.
And he also, this director also made a film called The Vanishing Lady the same year, which also shares credit with being like the earliest ghost movie.
Nice. Okay,
So
cool.
that's my history lesson.
I mean, I'm impressed.
Right? I think that was about 3 facts. But now we're going to kind of jump into our favorite ghost movies. So starting with, I will say, like, ghost horror movies. We'll get into, like, movies that have ghosts in a little bit, but do you want to start talking about The Haunting?
Yes. Did you watch this one?
I didn't.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry, I didn't want to put you on the spot if you else did. So I watched The Haunting, the 1963 version. This is based off of Shirley Jackson's Haunting of Hill House, which of course most people know now because of the Netflix show that is excellent. I think Lauren didn't finish it, but...
No, I didn't.
Another reason to hate on Lauren.
I got bored, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I think this was the first movie version, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, sorry. There was also a remake in the 90s, I believe, that I did not watch. But the 1963 version, I've heard so many people talk about as like one of their favorite ghost movies. And I read the book. And from reading the book, I really wanted to watch this first film because it's clear that the Netflix version, the Mike Flanagan version, is like takes a lot of liberties in many, many ways, which I think is amazing. But I wanted to see the original film based off the book, and I freaking loved it. It sort of had that feeling for me when I watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane for one of our other episodes, where I was just like, how are these movies like standing the test of time so well? Like, I thought it was scary. And the most amazing thing about it is that you never really see any ghosts, right? Whereas nowadays, when you watch a horror movie, you want to see the ghost. There's some sort of CGI ghost brought on at some point, sometimes for too long and it looks bad. But this one, you don't see anything, and I think that makes it scarier. Like, you hear the ghost, like you hear a lot of pounding, you see doors closing by themselves, things like that, but you never actually see the ghost itself.
And it's more about, like, how scared the people are.
Yeah, exactly. And it focuses around this one character. Oh, I just forgot her name. Oh, no.
The actress or the character?
Character name. Jan? No. This is sad. Nell. Oh my god.
Oh.
Eleanor.
Yes.
Jan? Oh, Jan?
I like Jan.
Not
We're gonna
Jan.
make a horror movie
That's
with
horrible. Now you
Jan.
can hate on me. Eleanor, also known as Nell. So she is like kind of a fragile mind when she gets there, I guess I'll say. And the house really focuses on her.
Because she's susceptible.
Yes.
Just like Megan Fox.
Just like Megan Fox. Oh, also recommendation of another podcast, not this podcast. I love the Boo Crew. It's a great podcast, and they just had Megan Fox on, and she took us on a wild ride. Let me tell you, she is very sensitive to the paranormal and other things, as she says, and they didn't even ask her questions. She's just talking. And
I listened to it on my way over.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm so glad. Did you like it?
I loved it.
It's so great. It's
She's
so strange.
crazy.
Yeah. But it made me love her even more than I already did. Because I love Megan Fox, by the way.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
fan. Big Jennifer's Body fan. Anyways, where was I? It's a great movie, The Haunting.
This woman is fragile.
Oh, yes. She's fragile.
Eleanor.
Eleanor's fragile. And so the house really focuses on her, and it's an excellent ghost story. I really, really loved it. And that's what I'll say.
That's perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
The next sort of one, I'm just going to briefly mention the Amityville Horror.
Yes. Oh, I didn't even think of that one.
In
when we were talking about
1979.
this.
I know. That one has always been interesting to me because it's based on a true story.
Right. Oh my god.
Which, again, just, leads to my point that ghosts are not real. But...
I'm shaking my head. If you can't
But
see.
also, have you seen the Ryan Reynolds version?
Yes.
I just watched it recently and I was like, what is going on?
Oh, go.
It's so different.
Yeah. Also, I haven't read the book, but there is a book.
Yes. Which I have also not read. But the movie is great. And I feel like sort of a similar thing. I mean, I think we're going to get into this with a lot of these ghost movies, is that it's much more about the suggested or,
right.
It's not so much seeing a monster or seeing a thing. But anyway.
Because sometimes that ruins it in certain movies.
Oh, yeah. Because especially in, when they're dated. The special effects seem so bad now, but...
It's like, you shouldn't even showed me. It was scarier before. It's always scarier leading up to seeing the monster.
Yeah.
And once you see it, in that, I feel like that happens in a lot of different types of horror movies.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't put it on this list, but I remember that's how I felt about Mama.
I was just thinking about
That's
that.
always my example.
Because they had this opportunity to make this amazing witch ghost creature, and it's this horrible CGI nightmare. And the rest of the movie is so great.
It's so good. But the next one I want to talk about is The Shining. Excuse me, The Shining in 1980. It's really one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. It's so dark. Oh, everyone knows it.
Are you excited for Dr. Sleep?
I am very excited.
We should go together.
The Shining was one of the first ones I watched when I was trying to get back into horror movies.
Oh, nice.
After The Ring scarred me.
The Shining's a good one because it's it's just so good.
Yes.
But it's also horror.
But those ghost little girls I'll never get over. They're
we should
so
do
freaky.
that cosplay at some point.
We should.
How dare we have not
and
done that cosplay.
the flash of them standing and then the flash of them dead with all the blood everywhere.
Can we be the dead ones?
Yes. It's so scary.
It is.
And then are there other ghosts besides the girls?
The grandmother, the old lady.
The old lady in the bathtub.
And then everyone, right? Because it's whenever he's at the bar.
Oh, right, the bartender.
Yeah,
all the
that
people
stuff.
at the party.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
I can't remember the
oh
other
my God, the people in
standalones.
the animal costumes.
Wait, what?
You don't remember that? There's a scene where he looks and there's a guy seemingly I don't know what I'm allowed to say on your YouTube channel.
What do you mean?
He's giving him a blowjob.
Oh, you can say blowjob.
Can I say blowjob?
You can say blowjob.
Please
don't demonetize me.
So there's a guy in an animal suit giving a blowjob to another guy. No?
Why do I not remember that?
You remember.
I also haven't seen The Shining in a few years. I'll be honest with you. I'll bring it back this October.
The answer to the biggest WTF moment. You don't remember this shot? It's a man in a suit and a guy in an animal costume.
Is it That's so weird that I don't remember that shot.
I can't believe that you don't remember it. It's the one thing I think I took away.
I have seen The Shining, I think, 2 to 3 times.
Okay. I've probably seen it 5 or 6.
But why would I not remember that?
I don't know.
I also have a really bad memory.
But anyway, she's going to rewatch it before Dr. Sleep. But
I have to.
Love The Shining. I also have not seen, there were 2 other 1980s big ghost movies, The Changeling and The Fog.
I've seen The Changeling.
Oh, talk about it.
Yeah, that's the one. I think one of the most famous scenes from that. So it's the man in the wheelchair, and his house is haunted by his dead daughter. Mm-hmm. Or like, yeah, I think that's right. Maybe look it up. But I think the most famous scene from that is the red bouncing ball that's like bouncing down the hallway, and he's like, "What's that?"
Oh, it's a little boy.
Oh, it's a little boy.
But it's because he's vacationing with his family when a car accident kills his wife and daughter.
Yeah. The boy that drowned in the bathtub. That's what it is. And yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So this is the George C. Scott film, and it's excellent. I haven't seen it in many years.
This is actually 1 hour and 55 minutes.
55 minutes. A very short film. But yeah, this is another one. I'm actually really excited we're doing these episodes because this is going to pull up so many movies that I either need to watch or like need to rewatch. Because The Changeling I haven't seen in a long time. But I remember being very good.
And next on our list is The Poltergeist in 1982.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Toby Hooper / Steven Spielberg.
Amazingness.
Yeah, really good.
I guess, yeah. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to talk about the clown is my favorite part.
The clown is great. We are very sad because Halloween Horror Nights apparently had a really good Poltergeist maze, maybe last year or the year before. I can't remember what they said. But we're sad we missed that. But I love Poltergeist because it's like, it's scary, but also kind of a family movie.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it has that, like, Steven Spielberg, like, warm...
Yes, warm. That's a good word.
Strong characters, kind of whimsical in a weird way.
Yeah. I love the scene where it's, like, the chairs in the kitchen, like, automatically are on the table. Like, that kind of stuff is just, like... But it's not scary, because they're, like, sort of not scared of it at first.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is cool.
And the little girl is, like... happy at the beginning. To be seeing them.
It's so crazy.
Very weird.
And that's another movie that is amazing. Like, particularly the clown, the scene with everything flying in a circle, like that's so amazing. But then when you get the like very sparkly poltergeist thing, it's sort of like I almost didn't need it.
Yeah.
But teach their own.
Yes, I agree with that. Have you seen The Candyman? No.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm just showing all of Felicia's flaws. That's what I'm here to do.
I've got to get in trouble. But I have to watch all of them because obviously we have...
I know, the new one coming out. Yes. So we're going to watch that. Maybe we'll do a
3?
whole...
How many are there?
I don't know, actually. But this one was...
I've only been alive a certain amount of years, and it's hard to see every single thing in that short amount of time.
I know. 3.
3, okay. So we're going to watch them all.
Yes, we have to get ready.
Maybe we can do an episode on them at some point.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe we can do a whole episode. The next one that is one of my favorites is The Sixth Sense.
Oh, yes.
In 1999.
So good.
That was one, I can't believe it, but I managed to see it without knowing the twist.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which is
cool.
A feat.
I bet that was, like, really exciting.
It was so exciting, and I watched it with other people who didn't know the twist, and so we all were like, like, this is crazy. But, nothing's better than Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, yeah.
And the ghosts, I feel like that's another one where it's like, the ghosts are scary, but there's a lot of, like, real and very beautiful emotional scenes. Like, that scene with Toni Collette at the end where he's, like, talking about, like, grandma, like, wants to say this to you.
Oh,
and,
God,
like, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And also the ghosts in that one, I think they're very scary because they're very human.
Yeah.
Which is different than
oh my gosh, that little girl throwing up under the bed. Do you remember that?
Oh.
Ooh.
Man, there's a lot of really scary images in The Sixth Sense.
And they stay with you.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. And his patient at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
But it's so good.
It's so good.
If you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, that's got to be top of your list.
And some real beautiful acting.
Yeah.
And then Sleepy Hollow in 1999. Which
masterpiece.
I was like, I don't know. When I was thinking about it, I was like a little confused as to why it's listed on ghost movie lists. But I guess if you count the Headless Horseman, I don't know. He's like sort of demon-y.
That's how I feel. He's sort of demon-y, yeah.
So I don't know if we should include it or not.
But, I mean, he is dead.
Yeah.
But that is such a beautiful, freaking whimsical movie.
Yes.
It's awesome.
And I love Johnny Depp being so scared of everything.
Johnny Depp is great. I think I have it on DVD. We should watch it.
Yes.
It's great.
I think I have it on DVD too.
Oh, perfect.
Watch special features. So then the movie that I watched in preparation for this was The Others in 2001, which was amazing. Another one that I had fully watched all the way through and rewatched and didn't remember the twist. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So I won't tell you.
That was one of my earliest horror films, I'm pretty
really?
sure. Yeah.
But it's kind of amazing. It's her, it's a woman in a house looking, servants come to apply for a job there, and she explains that her children are
they can't be in the sun.
allergic to the sun. Definitely
sun.
allergic to the sun.
Yeah.
And so she has to keep all the curtains closed, the doors locked. Her husband has died at war, so she's alone in the house, and sort of about
Nicole
her.
Kidman, by the way.
Nicole Kidman. Oh my God.
Descent into Madness.
Amazing.
Our favorite kind of Nicole Kidman.
I know. And I was going to say, are there ghosts, or is she crazy kind of thing?
Yes. Which I feel like is in a lot of these movies too. Is like whoever is seeing the ghost or whoever is experiencing the ghostly things, there's always the question of like, is it real or not? Which is it's cool. Or some of them, it's very clear that it's real.
Yes. Do you want to look and see, are there any others? I mean, so I love Silent Hill, which is 2006. Have you seen? It's so
watched
crazy.
Silent Hill as a teenager, but I don't really remember much about
It's
it.
amazing. It's mostly just very cool monster designs, I think. And I remember watching my brothers play the video game, so it was cool to like see the creatures in the movie.
Yeah. The one on here that sticks out to me is the Skeleton Key. And we actually mentioned it in our Psycho Biddies episode, I believe.
Yeah.
But The Skeleton Key was one of my fave movies growing up. It's not even that old though.
No, 2005?
Oh yeah, that was me growing up.
Yeah, that's you growing up.
But it is, what's her name? Kate
Hudson.
It's Kate Hudson, and she basically goes to be like a live-in nurse situation at this family's old plantation house, and it's this old man and old woman. And there's that one also has a huge twist. A lot of these have like pretty strong twists that you never see coming, or I didn't see coming. But it's really, it's a lot of like voodoo stuff, which is very fun. Yeah. But yeah, that's that one.
I love.
And the next one on here, Insidious is great. Conjuring is great. We have some, James Wan, ghost stuff.
And The Conjuring 2.
And The Conjuring 2.
Oh, so I'm going to talk about it a little later, but paranormal activity.
Yes.
Is also a big one in this ghost category.
Yeah, which is also tricky because
she's possessed.
No, yeah, it's like a demon entity, something that's attached itself to her.
Yeah.
I just think of particularly one of my favorite moments of that movie is when they put down like, it's either like baby powder or flour or something, and you see the footprints, and it's like these like claw thingies. But for me, it still seems like it's like a ghost situation.
Yeah, it starts off very similar to a ghost situation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the concept of people being like, something is happening in our house.
Yeah.
We gotta videotape it.
Yeah, we gotta film all night and then watch back the footage and see the scary things.
Yes. So there obviously are many more ghost horror movies that we did not mention. This is sort of our highlights. But I also wanted to talk about ghosts in other movies, like Casper.
Oh, yes. Please, let's talk about Casper.
Do you want to talk about it more?
Yeah. Casper, I freaking love that movie. That house, the house that they live in is so freaking amazing. Christina Ricci, just freaking killing it. I just love that movie. My favorite line is when he like goes and he whispers in her ear, "Can I keep you?" And it's so freaking adorable. I love everything about that movie. And Casper and Wendy.
Oh yeah.
With freaking what's her face?
Yeah,
Lizzie McGuire.
Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All I could think was Lizzie McGuire.
With Hillary Duff, that is so freaking good.
It's the best.
We should talk about that next week, too, when we talk about witches.
Ooh. But anyway, and then there's, A Christmas Carol is probably one of the more famous ones.
Totally.
All the, Ghosts of Christmas Past, Ghosts of Christmas Present, Ghosts of Christmas Future. Lots of different ghosts. And then, obviously, Ghostbusters, 1984.
I wasn't even thinking about all these, fun ones.
It's so fun. It's so good. We just went, as we said, to Halloween Horror Nights, and there was a Ghostbusters house.
Why will they not stop talking about it?
We will talk about it until someone will sponsor us to go on another trip. But Ghostbusters is great. And Beetlejuice, obviously my favorite,
That's
1988.
So
and I had a moment where I was like, is Beetlejuice a ghost? He feels straight up like a demon. But I guess the couple are ghosts. And he says, I forgot, he says, I'm the ghost with the most.
Oh yeah, I'm the ghost with the most.
So I guess he's got to be a ghost.
Yeah.
Then, we've got Ghost, the Patrick Swayze movie. 1990.
How could you not mention it? How could you not?
I'll never feel about a man the way I felt about Patrick Swayze.
That's very funny.
And I have to just know that about myself. And then, of course, Harry Potter. Our favorite.
Oh my God, Harry Potter. Peeves.
So many ghosts.
Nearly Headless Nick.
It's amazing.
Ghosts are the best.
But now I'm going to move on. I feel like some other things I wanted to talk about are reality TV ghost shows, which are so good.
I can't wait to see what's on your list. I'm very excited.
Well, so the first, I wanted another one that I was like, what was the first reality ghost TV show? It was apparently called One Step Beyond, which was an anthology TV show, kind of like The Twilight Zone, but it was based on documented events, so all real stories.
Yeah.
But it was on the ABC network from 1959 to 1961.
59, wow.
Yeah, so people have always been really interested in ghosts.
Yeah.
But then a couple other notable ones, and you probably have more, but Ghost Hunters is probably the most famous.
Totally.
2004 to 2016, so that's a long run. So I actually didn't watch Ghost Hunters. I watched Ghost Adventures, which was 2008.
Yes.
And I guess that was just on TV more when I was watching that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. But my favorite joke about Ghost Adventures that maybe I've made on the podcast.
Let's find out.
I can't remember. I feel like maybe I did when we were talking about how we watched it in Orlando.
Oh, that's right. We did. We watched it because it was on TV.
But I'll do it again. My favorite joke is it's and the guy's like, did you hear that? He's like, it said, get out. And it's
clearly it just
said,
said.
No, it didn't. Clearly it just said, I'm making air noises because this is not a ghost. It's a breeze.
Man.
But I love it. There's an episode with ghost mice. I could go on.
Ghost mice?
Yeah,
wow.
Literally they hear animals and they're like, oh my God, it must be ghost mice. And you're like, no,
or it's just normal mice.
It's my favorite. But the only other thing I wanted to say was we talked about Paranormal Activity previously, but I think it's just
I am praying the mic picked that up.
He is so annoyed with us.
That was Toby doing his annoyed noise, which if you couldn't hear it goes
He's over us talking about Paranormal Activity.
He's done. He's like, you already talked about that, right?
But I think Paranormal Activity is amazing because it was no budget. It made a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also no special effects. There's no monster. There's no blood.
It's just awesome.
And it's had this extreme,
because it feels so real.
Yeah. And it sort of has that, it's like Blair Witch, where I feel like when Blair Witch came out, people were like, oh my God, it's real. I feel like the first person who told me about Paranormal Activity was like, look at this real documentary, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's not.
Oh my God. But it's so well done. And
so
also
well done.
The first horror movie that Jason Blum produced.
Yeah. Cool. And I was going to say, I think when it was released, it didn't have a distributor.
Oh,
is that true? So it was literally surviving on word of mouth.
Yeah.
And becoming popular because of word of mouth. So
can I throw one more haunted TV show?
Please.
My favorite one growing up was Scariest Places on Earth, which had this amazing narrator who I can't remember her name right now, but she's like the psychic in that 80s movie Teen Witch.
Yes.
She has a very distinct voice. She's awesome. But, and it was just her narrating, and people would go spend the night in like a haunted castle or a haunted church or a haunted this, and it was awesome. I loved it.
And stuff would happen?
And
always?
Stuff would happen. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing like
that.
crazy, but there's a lot of screaming and running. I don't know. It's great.
What more can you need?
Yeah. But yeah.
So that's pretty much what I had on ghosts.
That's awesome. I think we pretty much hit all my favorite movies. I feel great.
You feel great?
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about Sleepy Hollow, but that's truly one of the best.
It's so good.
Yeah.
If you have other ghost movie recommendations, let us know.
Yeah. Either if you're watching the YouTube, comment. If not, hit us up on Instagram. Also, oh my gosh, please leave a review of this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, or on iTunes is, I think, the easiest way to leave a review. And we'll read them out loud, just like this.
At some point.
Yeah.
When we get them.
When we get them. We just want more people to be able to find the podcast, and I think that's like the easiest way. It's like when you have more reviews and stuff, your podcast just like shows up more.
Definitely.
But I know very little, so could be wrong.
Could be wrong. Could not matter at all.
Anyways, but yeah, this is fun. I feel great.
Short and sweet.
See you next week to talk about some witches.
Yeah. Have some sweet, sweet nightmares.
And have a nice scream. Bye.
Bye.